Comalito Collective, we're a nonprofit cultural arts center. We do programming around Solano County or Solano County surrounding areas. We teach art classes. We are guest lecturing at different colleges and universities and programming. We're doing cultural programming at different libraries as well. And we're just very thankful that folks continue to support. Today we have the honor of having Diego Paquilizli, who is going to be talking about his amazing work, and it's just a real blessing and honor to have him here. So I'll pass it on to you.
The first step in being powerful is to see yourself as powerful. The next step is to make it happen. For many people, this is not something that comes readily. We receive a lot of messages and images from our environment, from the TV, from radio, from our friends, and from society about who we ought to be. In a fair world, the news would be balanced, history would be told with less of a slant of patriotism and more of a slant of reality, and all people and their perspectives would be told in a fair manner. I come from a family who came here from Mexico to escape poverty, who lived in a ranch and whose parents did not receive a lot of education. Who am I? Where do I come from? Where am I going? Those are all questions that I asked myself when I was growing up. Asking my mother or other family members would have led to simple answers like, "Eres Mexicano," you're Mexican. And in a sense, that straightforward answer is true, but it does mask some interesting secrets. See, in my high school history courses, they never taught me about certain stories. They taught me about people coming from Europe who wanted to make a life better for themselves. They were looking for a better place to call home. And they found the continents that we did here. But what was missing from those history courses were some stories, some big stories, some stories about my past, some stories about who I am. It wasn't until I took many historical courses or anthropological courses in college that I learned about my past, about a glorious past, about who I am. How could my high school history courses leave out such big world events? Stories about Mayan hieroglyphic writing, the vast pyramids of Teotihuacan, the Chinampas of Tenochtitlan, the Incan Empire, the people who were already living here. Stories about racial mixing, disenfranchisement, syncretism, and revolutionary ideologies. They left those stories out. Why did they leave those stories out? The answer is power. There is power in the agent who gets to tell the story. How did the events unfold? Who were the heroes? Which treaties were fair? Which treaties were justifiably broken? Who committed which acts of violence? And for what reason? Storytelling is powerful, especially storytelling in the educational system. I'm using what I have learned through my own education as a storytelling tool. The art pieces that you see here today are part of that storytelling. They are the result of what comes from knowledge of that history, my history. They change the narrative from the stories you have heard of uneducated, unintelligent, uncivilized indigenous people to a narrative about accomplishments, civilizations, power, and beauty. Paquilizli is the Nahuatl word I have chosen because it means happiness. I want my art to show a positive, bright, and happy and powerful perspective on indigenous people. I would like to highlight three of my main pieces and explain their meaning and how they show power. So the first piece that I want to highlight is this sash, this scorpion sash. This sash represents my individual personal power. The scorpion symbolizes my perseverance, my passion, my intensity. It represents my Nahuatl name, which is Atlachinocolo, which means burnt water scorpion. I use my perseverance, my passion, and intensity to create my personal power. The techniques that I use to crochet all of these pieces are called tapestry crochet techniques. They come from my own exploration and my own experimentation. I stayed up countless hours searching, practicing, and experimenting You will notice that the lines of the crochet pieces are very crisp. They're very, if you crochet, you know that when you crochet, the stitches don't come out, the drawings or pictures don't come out as clear. The reason that the pictures are so clear has to do with the techniques that I use, that I developed on my own. I have consolidated my own technological knowledge with my passion and thus created my personal power. The second piece I want to highlight is the eagle shawl that you see over there. The words say, "Toplato techpartantis." This means our word will make us fly. The eagle is metaphorically speaking about my desire to have Nahuatl, the biggest native language in Mexico, to spread its wings. I want speakers of this language to see its value and to take pride in it rather than be ashamed of using it. This shawl speaks about the power to counteract negative perceptions with positive images. Okay, and then the last piece I want to highlight is this piece. This is Tinochime Tishochime. This poncho speaks about the power of seeing beauty in yourself. Tinochime Tishochime means we are all flowers. The flowers are of different shapes, sizes, and colors, and yet they come together to form one beautiful image. The indigenous woman in the back is a self-confident woman represented, surrounded by a halo of flowers to represent her beauty. This poncho is very special to me because I had the honor of having Dolores Huerta wear it during last year's San Francisco Carnival Festival. Dolores Huerta is a very powerful, self-confident woman who has fought for the rights of farm workers. Her activism inspires me and reminds me of the power that we have. I have been fortunate enough to find out who I am, but it's time for you to find out who you are. Tlantigneki tigmatis canintillas, moneki tigmati akiata. Chitemo monelwayo, chitemo tlemelawak, chimomachti akiata. If you want to know where you're going, you need to know who you are. Look for your roots, look for the truth. Learn who you are. When you know who you are, your foundation of power only gets stronger. You have a glorious past. You need to live a glorious present and create a glorious future. The first step in being powerful is to see yourself as powerful. The next step is to make it happen.